2005 BMW 330 Ci.
A used 330 is what you buy after your E30 gets brought up during marriage counseling.
For the life of me, I cannot remember why it's called 330 Ci. Oh, they never told me why. For the life of me, I cannot believe we came this far to review another BMW.
The 330 is a front-engine, rear-wheel drive, 5-passenger four-door sedan. Price $40,000. Engine type: dual overhead cam, 24-valve inline six, aluminum block head with port fuel injection. 182 cubic inches or 2,979 cubic centimeters. 235 horsepower, 5,900 RPM. Torque: 222 pound-feet, 305 RPM. Transmission: automatic 6-speed manual. Dimensions: got wheelbase, got length, got width, got height, curve weight 3,377. 0 to 60, 5.6 seconds. 0 to 100, 15.3 seconds. Satan is my God. 10.25 mile, 14.3 seconds, 97 miles an hour, top speed 152 miles an hour, braking from 70 to 0 miles per hour, 158 feet, record holding, skip 0.86 G's, fuel economy, 21, all hail Lucifer.
Enough of that crap!
Look around the cabin of this 330 Ci. What don't you see? You don't see cup holders, do you? This is a condescending move by Bavarian Motorworks, giving us Americans such a Central European layout.
I need to drink things. I need to eat thing.
Yeah. Tell your Autobahn stories about how the Germans take driving more seriously than we do. Fantastic. But it's 4 hours to Pittsburgh, and I got a Sheetz burrito calling my name, and I want to eat it while I make time.
Sheetz!
In 2005, Crash won Best Picture Oscar, and BMW gave it a run for its money in the white guilt department. You could be forgiven for thinking that this car was all style and no substance, given a silver bullet aesthetic that suggests there are mountains on the side that change blue when it's cold out. But the 330 Ci is actually a smooth driving experience, despite its heavier than standard steering and its occasional sluggish maneuvering around corners. One moment it's taking corners smoother than a Cadbury cream egg, and the next it's chugging like a Newgrounds video on dial-up. It's a dichotomy that can hamper the driving experience if you're not driving manual, but let's face it, if you're not driving a BMW with a stick shift, you're just steering it. There is a general lack of room in the Footwell, but really this isn't the most spacious car in the world to begin with. It's supposed to fit 5 passengers, but even then it's kind of a tight squeeze. On top of that, the small boot means low cargo capacity, so if you're a gangster, there's basically no room to dispose of the bullet-strewn corpses of Cincinnati Sal, Johnny Cheesebox, or Jimmy the Rat. BMW 330 Ci, the official car of I'm not racist, but this is the Aston Martin of empty threats, if James Bond was an insurance adjuster. It has a dial that lists MPGs, but stops at 12 and never goes to 0. It's an automotive representation of how schools drop all grades below 50% to meet AYP, at the cost of real education, of course. When you buy a BMW 330 Ci new, it'll run you around $40,000. And while I suppose that's fair for what you're getting beneath the hood, you're really paying for the brand. You're paying for the visibility of being seen driving a BMW. BMW 330 Ci. The official car of I'd like to speak to your manager. It's the same reason why Altoids are so expensive. They come in a fancy-ass tin. Sure, the mints taste like sidewalk chalk and can probably be used the same way, but we're in an age that fetishizes brand recognition. You could buy the bag of Frosted Flakes from the bottom shelf, but your kid will probably start bitching about how there's not a cartoon tiger on the front. And you could fill a Scrooge McDuck vault with all the money spent on keeping up appearances. With that said, the 330 Ci does have a reputation for reliability. It's as dependable as a Durex condom or the immoderate, fluctuating prices of Sears Auto Center. In many ways, a BMW privileges aesthetic. It's about the hopeful idealism you can experience when you go all in on a brand, even if you have nothing to go on but reputation. If you're buying a BMW, odds are this is the only car you'll be able to afford. It's sort of like the video game console wars in grade school when you were a kid. You were fiercely devoted to either PlayStation or Nintendo or Sega. It was likely because your parents could only afford to get you one system, so you had to put all your weight behind it, because to do otherwise would be to admit you chosen wrong. And God only knows when you're going to get the chance to do a do-over. Maybe you'll end up satisfied with your 330 Ci. Maybe you'll find out that the drive isn't as smooth as you expected, that you won't be taking corners like a professional driver on a closed course. Maybe you'll only get 21 miles per gallon city. Just maybe you'll realize that its form wrote a check that its function can't cash. And if that's the case, this stops being the story about how function is corrupted for the sake of beauty and instead becomes a story about waiting for a moment that never comes.
Failed on the job interview when they asked me about my past. I don't really see how that's a relevant thing to ask. I'm the image of success. I passed my manager's test. I drive a 330 CI.